Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12 of Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529, our partner on the show and Missouri's Education Savings Plan. Of course, you can check them out right now at MissouriMost.org. I'm Andrew Buchbinder. We're here on the right field patio at Hammons Field. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with us here this week. We've got a great show in store. We'll have Dan Ryder on in just a bit for Stuff Under Dan's Desk, continuing to give away Dan's stuff each week. I want to say a big congratulations to Jesse Echevarria. Jesse, you won Dan's stuff last week. We'll message you here on Facebook in just a bit to coordinate the pickup of your items. We also have Austin Warner, Cardinal left-handed pitcher, joining us for Bird Bites, presented by American National. Derek Edwards has this week's Ryan Lawn and Tree Grounds Crew Yard Tip as well. And Regina Norris is going to have some fun with a Great Southern Bank a rapid-fire rendition, also bringing some ballpark entertainment to us while we all miss being here at the ballpark. But first, to kick off this week's show, we welcome in our good friend Jennifer Henry from American National Insurance. Well, we continue along here on Fly Together with a very special guest. Joining us from American National Insurance is Jennifer Henry. And Jennifer, first and foremost, thanks so much for finding some time to join us this week. How is everything going over there? Are you guys all doing okay?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. The majority of our employees are still working from home. We have a few people, in the office, but for the most part, we're all working from home still.
Yeah, just adapting to the new normal, I guess, that we all are.
Yes. I'm so tired of that phrase, but yes, unfortunately, this is our new normal.
Yeah, we would be happy to get back to the old normal, but yeah, some things.
Going to baseball games and having fun, meeting people. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, American National has been obviously a terrific partner here at Hammons Field in so many different ways for so many years. And it's been kind of fun. We've adapted that partnership a little bit to, the new normal. And this week, unrolled a new program with you guys called Nonprofit Heroes that's running right now on our social media and our website. Really kind of a neat program. If anybody missed the press release and everything, through next week, through this coming week, you can nominate a nonprofit organization that's kind of stepped up through the COVID pandemic and all of that. That's really helped out the community. And then we'll be recognizing those nominated nonprofits over the next couple months. And Jennifer, I wonder if you could just kind of give us some background. I know this was a cause that was near and dear to American National, and just sort of indicative of your guys' importance that you put on community involvement overall, right?
Yes. We really felt like the nonprofit agencies in this community have really gone above and beyond during this time. I mean, they really had to rethink what they're doing. Imagine taking these events that are normally done in person. They still need the money. They still have missions and they still have people that they're trying to help. So what does that look like? So I just feel they've done such a great job, in this time. And I just love that we're going to be able to recognize several of those agencies who have done such a good job in this time. So we're really excited about that. It's really speaks to our heart at American National.
Yeah, and I think as we all adapt, you mentioned so many of the folks at American National having to work from home right now, and we were for a long time too. We still sort of are half and half here at the ballpark. But that obviously that takes some resources to figure out. And so not only are nonprofits having to deal with maybe a dip in some fundraising with some of those events having to take other forms, but it also has got to be kind of tough for them to figure out how to continue to operate in a changing world with only increasing need with everything going on. So it's really special, and we're thrilled to partner with American National, and so glad that you guys sort of had this cause that you wanted to explore how we could make work, because it's definitely in line with the Cardinals community efforts and just a perfect partnership with American National.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's perfect.
So generally speaking, American National has always had really a focus on that community aspect. Is that, you guys have been around a long time. Has that always been a priority in your company's history?
Yes, I'm sure people remember the United Way car show for kids. I mean, that was something that we had done for years. That was before my time, but I certainly remember hearing about it in the community. We've just always, done stuff. Our employees are very giving of their time and their money. And, it's just something that we're thrilled to be able to still continue to do. We also, speaking of being able to give time, we have a volunteer program that all of our employees are paid one full day to go out in the community for a cause. It can be something that has already been arranged with our volunteer coordinator, or something that speaks to them personally, then they can turn that in and still get paid for it. So I just really feel like that speaks to the culture of American National and how giving the company is, and the employees are as well, for sure.
Yeah, because it's one thing, and it's obviously great to be community minded and community oriented on the corporate level, on the big picture level, but to encourage it on the personal and individual level is really special as well. And when you're on the website americannational.com, I mean, one thing that just is so evident, really, whatever product you're looking at, whatever page you're on, is the importance of that personal relationship. And so that seems to kind of fit, in line with encouraging folks to get involved in the community that work there, because you don't get a transactional sense when you're on the website and from the company in general.
No. I mean, this, we have employees that have been there for, since the beginning, when American National first started here. So we just have some very long-term employees. We have some new employees, and they're all, ready to give of their time and their resources, and just to be helpful to our clients as well, helping support our agents, sell the products, you name it. It's a great place to work.
So if folks watching this aren't necessarily familiar with American National, you guys have all different kinds of insurance, right? I mean, pretty much everything that anybody could need out there, right?
Well, yes. So we have auto, home, and life. We have collector car. We have toys, so motorcycles, RVs, boats. We have a great ag insurance, and then also some small business insurance as well. So, we just fully believe that having a relationship with a local agent who can help you find the right coverage for you is just very key to having, the right kind of insurance.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think about insurance is obviously it's important, to say the least, but it can also, I think, for folks that are outside of it, that are the consumers of it, I think it can be kind of daunting and intimidating. So I'm sure that personal relationship that American National offers with their agents, where they get to know you and what you need in your life and how much insurance you need, because that's another important factor to not be underinsured. That's just such a comforting aspect, I'm sure, for your clients and your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really value our agents, and we value the services that they provide to the clients, and just that partnership as to, okay, what are your needs? Let's find the right product for you.
Well, Jennifer, we really appreciate you taking some time, and thank you so much to American National, obviously involved with the show, with our fun segment Bird Bites each week, and we're thrilled to unroll the nominated a nonprofit hero program with you guys, and just can't wait for the future of that program and to keep partnering with you guys in creative and meaningful ways.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we really miss baseball, and we just really appreciate the partnership with the Cardinals. You guys are great to work with. You're so important to this community, so everybody is going to have great time next year coming to the ballpark.
Sounds great. Well, we can't wait for that, and thank you again, Jennifer.
Okay, thank you.
Like the song says, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. But right now, we're not talking strikeouts, we're talking savings. Did you know a Most 529 education plan gives you 1, 2, 3 ways to save on your taxes? First, in a Most 529, your educational savings grow tax deferred. Second, all contributions are deductible on your Missouri state income taxes. And third, you are not taxed on withdrawals to pay for qualified educational expenses. You could say it's a win-win-win. Get the fast facts at MissouriMost.com/529facts.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for another week of We Love Our Fans. I'm Regina Norris, and for this episode, we are bringing back a favorite promotion from last season. The game is going to be called Rapid Fire, brought to you by Great Southern Bank. What we will do is we will give you a category. You will have 15 seconds to think of as many items as you can as you compete against a Cardinals player. So let's see what the category is. Let's see how many MLB teams you can think of in 15 seconds. Be sure to keep your own score. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Competing against Cardinals pitcher Seth Elledge.
Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, Pirates, Reds, Rangers, White Sox, Mariners, A's, Padres, Dodgers, Angels. Gosh, that's tough.
Thanks for playing Great Southern Bank's Rapid Fire. Hopefully you guessed as many as Seth did. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you next week.
Well, it's time for our latest edition of Bird Bites presented by American National. We are joined by Cardinal left-hander Austin Warner, all the way from Louisville, Kentucky. Oh, we've got a brand new edition of Bird Bites presented by American National with one of our favorite left-handers. I think that's fair to say. Austin Warner joining us, a former Springfield Cardinal pitcher, spent last year and part of 2018, if I remember correctly, too, in Memphis. Austin, first and foremost, how you doing, man? Is everybody in your life doing pretty well?
Yeah, everyone's fine. Just family's good. I'm living at home with my dad, and all the family's fine.
Now you're in Louisville right now. What you're wearing the sweatshirt, but I feel like it's got to be even hotter than it is here. Have you guys been dealing with some?
Oh yeah, it's warm, but I mean I'm just waking up, hanging out inside. So yeah, it's definitely been warm. It's a little rainy today, so the sweatshirt seemed a little more appropriate, I guess. But
for sure,
even when it's rainy, it's still hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, we'll dive right in. We've got 10 hard-hitting questions lined up for you. And Matt Turr, take it away.
All right, so the first question we have for you is, what's your favorite Marvel movie?
I actually don't know if I've even seen any of those.
Nice.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't big on all the superhero stuff. I don't know. I'm sure there's been some on the bus every now and then, but I think Thor's one of the ones I've seen like as a bus movie, but those are some long movies to pay attention to on a bus trip. I always hated when we put something like that on a bus. Give me something that I can just watch and laugh to.
Let's pivot then. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I'd probably want to be able to fly.
All right. Okay. So that goes with Thor, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll take our word for it. You know what? As the guy that used to pick out the movies for the bus rides, there's a tremendous amount of pressure in that role.
There is.
Because you can't please everybody, and you're very right. If it's anything too long or too in depth, I mean, you can't really hear that well on a bus.
Yeah, you can't throw like Avatar on the bus or something like that. That'd take up a whole bus trip, and even if you have a 15-hour trip, that's still a long movie.
Yes,
still long to pay attention to.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out why people are blue, and there's a lot to unpack there. I just went for, if I could get like the most explosions per minute in a movie, that's what I was looking for on the bus.
There you go.
That was my criteria. So, okay, what your starting pitcher? What is the most unique superstition or part of your routine on days that you start?
I feel like I used to have a ton. Like I used to wear the same in college. I wore the same pair of shoes like to the field, to the stadium, on the bus, like before my start day. I'd have the same in college. I was starting like noon games, so they're always day games. So I'd have the same breakfast. But that's all that stuff kind of just adds into like not the stresses of starting, but it creates some stresses. I think because if one of those things is off, or if one of those things goes wrong, then it's kind of feels like things are off before you even get to the field. So I've tried to kind of get rid of those. I usually have something simple to eat before. Like, I mean, if there's spaghetti or hot wings or something in the clubhouse before the game, I'm not going to have that. I'll have like a peanut butter and jelly and a bag of chips is usually as far as I get.
Yeah, and you know, that's so
it.
interesting because that brings up like such a great point that I think a lot of people don't necessarily think about now. I mean, maybe a little bit more so the past couple of years, but there's so much, well, in life, obviously right now, I think everybody can attest to that, but there's so much in minor league baseball that you can't control. You know, the visiting ballpark, the visiting city, where the visiting hotel is, if you're anywhere in walking distance to a place to go eat. Sometimes we get to a town and there is one place to eat, you know,
Exactly.
so I guess that has to sort of force you to let go of some of those, like those real structured routines, just because, you know, there's so much that's outside of your control.
Yeah, there's a lot you can't control. And then with that too, since Thanksgiving, I haven't eaten meat. I was just trying to see how that would work, and I've kept up with it. But I was always, I mean, I was not wondering, but just kind of like, how is this going to work during the season? Like you said, if you get to the field and there's a big tray of hot wings on the table, like I'd be eating a lot of peanut butter and jelly. Or if we get off a bus at 2 a.m. and I'm hungry and there's a McDonald's next door, like, and that's about it. Like, it would definitely be difficult then. I'd have to do a lot more planning than I did in the past.
Okay, so what athlete did you grow up idolizing?
Being from Louisville, Griffey was always close in Cincinnati. He was one, as left-handed. Him, and then when I got a little bit older, turned into knew I was going to be a pitcher. Andy Pettit was my lefty.
Nice.
And then a little bit older than that, it turned into Kershaw, and still probably is Kershaw, just the guy that I love to watch a lot, someone like him.
Yeah, if you're growing up an Andy Pettit fan, did you try to emulate any of his his pickoff move? I mean, he was always famous for having a great move.
I would. Yeah, there was. I mean, I just watch videos of his pickoff move. Especially, I got to in college. I feel like I had a good one in high school, but it's high school. And then got into college, and guys were running on me a little bit, so watched a lot of videos of that. I remember one day, I was sitting in the parking lot watching videos before a start, probably a couple hours before the game would start, and just on my phone. And then I went and picked off 2, and then we held a quick runner, and got him thrown out at second. So just kind of funny it worked out. Sit there and watch video and then go do it, I guess.
Yeah, that is kind of amazing. Just that immediate wow, I was able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to choose between the two, would you rather cook dinner or clean the dishes afterwards?
I would like to cook, but I'm not a fan of cleaning, but my girlfriend does a lot of the cooking. She's been here spoiling me lately. She'll cook. She'll probably make me some breakfast when we finish here. And then I usually end up doing the cleaning at that point, which I'm okay with. I don't mind, especially if I get to eat.
Are you a good cook?
I can.
Yeah?
I would,
sounds like a yes. It's a humble yes.
Maybe. My girlfriend's in there laughing at me, so I don't know. But
you haven't killed anybody, right?
No,
Nobody's died after eating?
No, of course not.
Okay. So, you're a good cook.
Yeah. Probably better than most in minor league baseball in that state. I mean, I just feel like we all get tied up in during the season. I don't cook because where are we going to cook? We live in a hotel half of it, and I actually luckily had a host family in Springfield, so I did have access to a nice full kitchen. But even in that sense, they would cook a lot for me. So if that happens, I will do the dishes.
Yeah, you got to earn it, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Olympic event to watch?
Winter or summer?
Oh, I mean, either.
Or pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
I always feel like I'm definitely a summer type person, weather-wise, but I always like watching the Winter Olympics. You get I think they got rid of the snowmobile, but because that got a little. Oh, that was the X Games actually. But just any of the snowboarding stuff, like what'd you call? I guess like the half pipe.
Yeah.
All that stuff's fun to watch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would you do half pipe or the one? I don't know what it's called, but the one where there's like
Or like the
4
downhill.
sets of ramps going downhill. Yeah.
Either one. That's one of the big air ones that those are fun to watch too. But I don't know. I think the half pipe, that just seems like a more classic X Game or Olympic event.
What insect creeps you out the most?
It's a good question. I don't know if those really bother me a whole lot. Like growing up and stuff in high school, I'd keep like lizards, and I had chameleons and geckos and stuff. So you're always feeding them frogs. You're always feeding them like mealworms and crickets and all those little things, little roaches. So those don't really bother me a whole lot.
Oh,
Maybe if you get like a big spider in or something.
yeah.
I've got a quick question. Did you ever keep your frogs and lizards in the same area?
No.
Okay, I learned as a child in Florida, as in like 5th grade, that was a big mistake. Because the
It's a
lizards
crowd
kept
in Florida, you
disappearing
probably
on me,
just
and then
found
one day
those,
I got home from school, and a frog was eating the lizard. And I was like, I'm condemning them to death.
Uh-oh.
So don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. What's your favorite moment from Little League?
I just think if any baseball memories I go back to, just like playing travel ball and playing with that. I play with pretty much the same group of core guys from like 11 or 12 to 18 years old. And then a lot of them I even played with in high school ball, and we would play summer ball through high school and all that stuff. So just those weekend tournaments whether we're in Louisville and we're going an hour and a half north to Indianapolis and staying there in a hotel for the weekend, playing 10 games in 3 days, and which is crazy. Like, can't imagine doing stuff like that. Even double headers now are dragging. We used to play 4 on a Sunday to win a championship or something, but just those days, just playing nonstop baseball. And then when you're not, you're running around hotels with your friends when you're 12 years old. And those are always fun. We actually, a group of us got together a couple months ago, and just like pretty much like that core group, like 4 or 5 of us and like the parents and stuff. And we were just hanging out, talking about all that. It was fun.
Yeah, that's cool. It's like back when everything was just kind of innocent and simple. And,
yep. It's just like baseball and the swimming pool all summer, and that was it.
Yeah.
You have your 1 week of like family vacation. We usually go to the beach. So that was the summer.
Now, I promise we didn't know she would be within earshot when we put this question down. So, hypothetical situation here. You and your girlfriend are going out on a lake or a river somewhere. You rent kayaks. Do you guys rent 1 double kayak or 2 single kayaks?
She's listening, and she's in there saying single. And I think, I don't know, I think a double kayak, how far are we going? Is it a few miles or is it about 20 miles? Because if it's only a few, we could probably make it on one. But
it's a minimum of a 2-hour rental.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably go with 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, but we go with 2. Maybe one of us can throw the dog in the kayak with us too. We'll have a little more room.
Yeah.
She's like a 70-pound dog, so I don't know if we all fit in one.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's good reasoning for the right answer of always go 2 single kayaks, 1 double kayak. Not
might
worth
as well,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that sets you up as you can't stop spinning in circles. It sets you up for a long day.
Would you rather go golfing or go for a hike?
Definitely a hike.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of hiking lately, and I've golfed a few rounds. And actually, I borrowed a set of golf clubs from one of my mom's friends, and just because I'm left-handed, I don't want to go out and buy clubs, and he had a pair that I could, or a set that he let me use. He had a couple sets actually, and I think I played 3 rounds, and the first 2 didn't even finish because I was tired of it by the time we got to 18. And then been to the driving range a couple times and no longer have a driver because I hit the ball somehow and the head of the club went flying about as far as the ball.
Sure.
So I don't think golf's my thing. I definitely prefer a hike.
Well, from your National Geographic sweatshirt, and I mean, if anyone that follows you on social, I mean, you seem like you spend a lot of time in nature. Is that something?
Yeah, we try. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I mean, we've in the off season traveled and found hikes. My girlfriend and I, 'cause like I said, she's in Southern California. We drove down to Sedona, Arizona, and like hiked the Red Rocks there, Devil's Bridge, and then Flagstaff, and we spent like a weekend in Joshua Tree. So just fun stuff like that. Well, she always likes to find a waterfall somewhere, so we found a few here lately that I didn't even know were here. One that we found actually was like a 5-mile hike, and then waterfalls nowhere on the trail, and then we're checking it out on the phone, and she reading on like Reddit or something it's a probably a quarter mile up into private property. So we peeked up there real quick and saw it. Pretty cool.
Okay, so our last one for you, this is kind of how we're wrapping up each Bird Bite segment with this question, but what's been the favorite moment of your career so far?
I always go back to that 2018 national championship, just playing with that Memphis team. When I got called up from Springfield to Memphis, like all those guys, like I started out that season in A-ball. I was in Springfield for about 6 weeks, and then kind of definitely a surprise to get to go up to Memphis at that point. But I mean, I get up there, and most of those guys there had at least somewhat of a successful big league season under their belts already. So that was definitely fun playing with those guys. I mean, I started like a Friday night in Vegas when we were there. Like Pete Alonso was on the other team. He was one of the guys I was throwing against. But then like on our team, like I'm throwing the Carson Kelly, Luke Voigt at first, Oscar Mercado and O'Neill are in the outfield. Just a bunch of guys like that who had either since then, like they're key guys on big league rosters right now, or were already, and then we're just kind of up and down with the Cardinals. That season was fun. I mean, that team was fun. That team always wanted to win, and like playing for Stubby was fun as well. Just going through that. I mean, when I got there, they were like 22 games ahead, and then we clinched with like a month left of the season. So it was, I mean, just winning's fun, and then winning with the team like that, just a bunch of guys that cool, because I didn't know any of those guys going in. Like I had not played in the minors with them before. They were always all probably in AA or so when I signed with the Cardinals. So it was just cool coming up and getting to meet a lot of those guys and play with a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, in minor league baseball especially, somebody's got to win every year, you know, but that sometimes it's sort of a battle of like who's hot, when they're hot, you know, who
that team was hot all year.
Called up, you know, and yeah, I mean, but sometimes like our 2012 team, you know, with Colton Wong and Greg Garcia and Oscar and all of those guys, sometimes you get that special combination. And I feel like Memphis had that for those couple of years where obviously most, if not all of them, came through Springfield, so we saw them. But at the same time, they all were in Memphis together. Yeah. And it just gelled so perfectly. And that just must have been really cool to be a part of.
Yeah, I think they came in, like I obviously wasn't there at the beginning of the year, but I think they came in like, I know Stubby was expecting to get back to the national championship and win it. They were there the year before and they were close. So I know they definitely had that at least in the back of their minds, probably more towards the front, really. And then I think that's just cool because minor leagues isn't really about that. It's not about like winning as a team a whole lot. Obviously it's fun to win. Obviously everyone likes the ring. Everyone likes to get to the playoffs, but it's obviously more about yourself as well. So I think that's cool. Just you have a team like that and everyone wanted to win.
Well, Austin, we could talk to you all day, man, but I know you got a full schedule, so we'll let you run. But thank you so much for taking some time out and joining us here for Bird Bites.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and would certainly wish the best for you. Hopefully we won't see you again in person, but hopefully we can get you back on a field.
We'll see,
in Memphis or St. Louis soon, man.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Austin.
Good to see you.
See ya.
And we're back with another week of Grounds Crew Yard Tips presented by Ryan Lawn and Tree. I'm Matt Turer, the Cardinals social media guy. This week, Derek Edwards is going to talk to us about the issues that come with grubs in our yard and how to keep them away. Because a grub is a guy who thinks he's fly, but honestly, it can't get no love from me.
A common yard problem that you could have during a season is a grub problem, and they can be bad because they're going to come in and cut off the roots, eat your roots of your soil, which will effectively kill off your grass. Some signs that you might be seeing some grub problems showing up in your yard would be if you see any animals like skunks or raccoons or even birds that are tearing up your yard. They're hunting those grubs in your yard, so that would be a good indication that you've got a grub problem. Also, if you're able to just pick up your turf if in a brown spot and just peel it back, that's the grubs have already gotten in there and cut the roots off of your turf. And an early indication is if you're walking on your yard and it feels spongy, much like a fresh laid sod, that's another indication that you might have a grub problem in your yard. So a good way to control grubs is to put down a pre-treatment, a grub control treatment in the springtime that'll effectively help control the grubs if any were to show up during the season. That's a good start to kind of prevent that from occurring. Make sure to water that product into the ground to allow it to get into the soil. That's where the grubs are going to be and where they're going to thrive. And make sure to put that product out if it's going to rain, or if you have an irrigation system, water that in. A drought-stressed lawn is going to show signs of grub damage much more quicker than a well-maintained yard. So another tip is to make sure you're staying on top of your yard, keeping it in good shape. A good rule of thumb is if you peel back a section of turf and see 9 or more grubs in a square foot, you have a problem and you should go ahead and treat for that. A well-maintained yard can handle up to 20 grubs per square foot, but still, if you have that issue, go ahead and get some treatment down and get that under control. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Well, if it's another week of Fly Together, it's another week of giving away Dan Ryder's stuff. It's time for Stuff Under Dan's Desk, and we welcome in Dan Ryder to give away his stuff. All right, well, it's time for one of I think this is a fan favorite segment. I haven't polled the audience out there, but I think this has got to be, if not the most popular segment, one of them. It's of course Dan Ryder joining us, and it's time for Stuff Under Dan's Desk. Dan, we've got a bunch going on at the ballpark. Who knew we would be this busy without games? But you guys have done a fantastic job of coming up with a whole bunch of different programs. One of which that I really love is the Great Southern Bank Free Community Fireworks Show series. And before we start finding out what you have in store to give away this week, I wonder if you could kind of look ahead. And we've done 2 of these fireworks shows, but we've got more on deck, right?
We do. We said when we first released it that we were going to shoot off 6 fireworks shows. We've got 2 down, 4 to go. And the next one, so mark your calendars, is actually going to be on August 8th. If you haven't come down for it, it's fantastic. Both of the times I brought down, I've been a fan. My wife and we brought down our young kids to watch them. Our 1.5-year-old is he's just going boom, 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 like he loves them. So it's been a great time watching the fireworks with our family, and we hope you come down here. We've seen people there in the park. They've been parking around at the Price Center. So come on down and enjoy it. We're really excited to partner with Great Southern on this one. And it gives people something fun to do. And I'll tell you, the fireworks are great, but one of the things that really kind of made me feel like it was normal was driving in traffic, leaving the stadium. And it sounds crazy, but I was going home down South National, and to not get through the first light and have to wait a couple of lights, it felt normal. And this last week I ran into some people in the parking lot. We were all masked, don't worry, but I ran into some people, and they said they made a great date night out of it by going to a downtown restaurant and then coming and watching the fireworks. And we hope this is what it allows people to do. Create some of those family memories of 18-month-old kids going boom, 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 and eat dinner downtown, play in the park, do whatever we can, because I think that's the beauty of this partnership with Great Southern Bank, is to really make us all feel a little bit normal.
Now, last week's theme, because it was July 25th, was Christmas in July, of course. Did you get a chance to wear the Santa suit on when you came out? Did Heather allow it, or how'd you celebrate?
She did shoot that one down, okay. So that idea did not go anywhere. But what we did is I did wear one of our Christmas in July jerseys. So I had ordered a special one for myself, and so I wore my Christmas in July jersey. And then we actually picked up my parents, and we all went and got ice cream together with the kids. The kids were singing along to the songs they knew. But then throughout the entire day, we did watch more Christmas specials than normal. We watched Rudolph, Shrek the Halls, Snoopy, the Peanuts Christmas, And that's before we get into our Grinch that we watch almost every night as part of our kids' bedtime routine. So we definitely celebrate with lots of Christmas in July movies, as well as the Christmas in July jersey that I did wear for the fireworks.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had no doubt that you managed to negotiate some sort of Christmas decorative wear, even if the Santa suit got shot down. So
well, and you said a key word there that I will pass along for unsolicited advice. This is my marriage advice to everyone: is don't compromise, negotiate.
Well, okay, the Dan Ryder marital counseling section might be a different segment. We're giving away your stuff, though. And a reminder before we do the big reveal for this week, if you want a chance to win Dan's stuff, then all you have to do is comment on this video or like the post right now. We'll pick a winner, announce that winner next week. So, Dan, without further ado, what do you have for us?
Well, Andrew, I actually got something from underneath my desk that I think you are going to love. So either yourself or a family member might try to like or comment on this one. But knowing your love of coffee, we wanted to bring out a Not Whole Gang coffee mug. We did this several years ago, and I can actually tell you the exact time we did it. We did this in 2014 with our 10-year logo. So
very nice.
Of coffee cups, the 10-year Not Whole Gang members. Technically, I think you're a little young. You're not wise enough to be a Not Whole Gang member, Andrew. But for the purpose of this giveaway, you can win these. It is recommended to hand wash. And looking based on what's been under my desk, I would definitely recommend that you wash them before you use them. I'm a pretty clean person, but it is not maintained well underneath the desk. So the winner this week is going to get a pair of coffee mugs.
So those are not Dan Ryder used coffee mugs. We're not doing game used memorabilia here. Those are new coffee mugs, unused coffee mugs. Okay.
Yes, I have.
But they've just been under the desk for a couple.
Yes, I will rewrap them in the plastic just to make sure. I guess I could put used ones in plastic too, but no, they have never been used. But they are coffee cups, which again, I know that speaks. That's your love language.
It is.
To be honest, your love language is coffee.
It is. That's the key to my heart, and you can never, ever have enough coffee mugs either, especially when they have Cardinals logos on them. So very, very cool.
Commemorative, our 10-year logo. I mean, we're not going to re-release that one.
Yeah, this is a one-time shot. You got to comment on the video right now or like the video for Dan Ryder's unused Season 10 Not Whole Gang coffee mugs. Very cool. You get both. And we'll pick the winner in next week's episode. We'll announce the winner in next week's episode as well. So, hey Dan, thanks as always. We appreciate the tease on this week's fireworks series. We'll have more info coming out on our social media about Saturday's fireworks show. But always good to see you, and thanks for giving away your stuff.
I'm glad to. Thanks for helping me clean out my desk. So, see you later, Andrew.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529. Thank you so much for joining us this week. As always, want to say a big thank you to all of our guests. Jennifer Henry from American National. We had Austin Warner on Bird Bites presented by American National. Derek Edwards, of course, with the Grounds Crew Yard Tip, brought to you by Ryan Lawn and Tree. And Dan Ryder for giving away his stuff as always. Our production team is Kent Shelton, TJ Patton, Regina Norris, and Matt Turr. I'm Andrew Buchbinder. Thanks again for joining us on Fly Together. Be sure to come on out to downtown Springfield and join us for the next installment of Great Southern Bank Fireworks here at the ballpark this Saturday as well. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a great week.
Why did the Cardinal cross the road to try to slow down the horses, but it didn't work? Congratulations, Kyle, on the Skag Stallion, the champion tonight of the Hammondsfield Derby.